Welcome back to part 2 of the Alpha project. Today's episode will be clearing more of the engine bay of stuff, getting that aircon pipe out and getting the wiring out. So come on, let's get into it. Now we need to get into this scuttle panel here, so I've got to take this seal off. Lovely. Now that's the aircon pipe that we need out. It goes all the way from the front, from the aircon condenser, right back into there. You can just see a nut that holds that pipe on. So I've already taken the wiper arms off. And this had a windscreen in it not that long ago, and there's a bit of a gap in that seal. It's not great. This scuttle's in two parts, a left and a right hand side, with some clips on it along the bottom and a screw there that was conveniently already missing. I guess the windscreen guy must have done that. As you can see there, that's also got no screw in there. So I can just take it straight out pretty much. Now that's what we need to be looking at. We need to be getting that nut off there and pulling that pipework out. Everything else looks okay in there. And obviously I've got to take that out there as well. The same for this side. But oh, there is a screw in that side. At least I did something. So with that out of the way, we can see the wiper motor now. Now you might have noticed here a nice puddle of water, and that's because that drain down there gets blocked up with leaves and moss and crap. So if you're suffering with wet carpets at the front, this could be one of the reasons why. So just give it a good poking out, get rid of all that crap in there and get the water out. So that's got that draining, we'll leave that for a while. Now I want to take all these wiring looms out of here, take the wiper motor off, and I want to clean up all under that scuttle panel under there so it's all nice and clean, free of rubbish. Now looking at the wiper motor and the linkages, there's a tiny bit of play in that one, and because they're all sort of plastic inside and this one's got a little bit more play in it. I don't know how bad that is compared to other ones. It didn't touch the bonnet or anything, so not too bad. Now when it came to taking these out, this nut was real tight. It felt like it was going to shear off. So the little tip with this is to just wind it off a little bit, then wind it back on, wind it back off a bit, wind it back on, give it a spray with some generic penetrating fluid, and just keep winding it backwards and forwards until they finally come out. And this is a bolt this side, and this was pretty much the same. It was one more turn of that was going to shear it, so just keep working them backwards and forwards. Take your time, nice and slow. Best way. The other bolt there in the middle, I think, thought was going to come out easy, but it ended up being the same. That was actually speeded up a bit as well. So after a few minutes they all came out okay anyway. I thought the middle one was going to be easy, but that turned out to be a slow, drawn out process as well. The thing to remember is I'm trying to do everything one-handed with the camera in the other hand, and I can't always see what I'm filming. This is one of those bolts that's almost too loose for the ratchet, but still too tight for your fingers, and then you end up getting writer's cramp, let's say, in your wrist. Anyway, it finally came out. Spreads out very good. And before you can take it away, there's just one electrical connector on it, so it's pretty simple. bit easier to get to if you just lift it out a little bit. So with that out of the way, we can see what's going on here. There was a load of crap under there, under the motor, bits of plastic and all sorts of stuff. So it just needs a good clean under there. Everything's okay, no problems, not flooded in the middle. And the next job is to get this aircon pipe out. It is quite big. It goes all the way down there around the chassis rail, and it's got to come out. Well, there's one 13mm headed nut down there, and this rubber section, this big grommet, comes out via that screw, and the whole thing comes out in one go. And it comes off quite easy, just pops out. Probably best to relieve this grommet first. Pop that out, and it all comes out. Nice and easy. It says easy, it's difficult to do with one hand. See, it's quite big though, so we need to get rid of that. Pop it down there. Now put all the wiring inside these carrier bags just to give them a bit of protection while I was washing it down. That one didn't get put in there because I've only just taken the wheel arch liner out today, and I put them all in this nice black bin bag. Much cleaner, much better. Nice access to get everything cleaned up now. That doesn't look great, does it? It's only a bit of surface scabbing. Looks like someone's caught it when doing a cam belt or something at some point in the past. These two bits here are a bit more worrying. Let's have a dig out with this screwdriver. Let's give them a quick have a look, see what the situation is. I don't think it's any more than surface rust under there, and I don't think it goes too far. I think it's fairly localised. I won't know until I get all that sealant off and cleaned up. Another job that needs doing, this brake pipe needs taking off. I cut it off the other end because it was no good. There's a connector to it just there, so it's not a very long bit, quite short, easy to do, so that's not really a problem. I love these, they're great. Just putting your nuts, bolts and bits and bobs in. Look at this lot, that is a bit of a mess. I hope I can remember where everything goes to that. And look at the state of this loom, it needs a good clean. I've got some nice loom tape to put to sort it all out. Trouble with this is it's quite rigid and hard, and I don't really want to be taking all that out. I mean, I want to clean all that up, but I don't want to pull it all out completely. Plus it goes down here, and I don't really want to bother all that lot. I'll give it a clean up. But oh, this sensor here, this is your DPF sensor, and that pipe goes from that sensor all the way down to your DPF. Sometimes you get splits in that and can throw a fault code up. Get a bit of penetrating oil on that, get that out, bag the looms up, and a lot more access to get this all cleaned up. It really doesn't look good here. I don't know why they do that, but it seems that all the spot welds start rusting first. Look at those. I mean, I don't think they do a great job with seam sealant on these, if I'm honest. It's terrible. Yeah, it'll clean all those earth points up, and it'll all look okay. Now here I just need to get behind the ABS pump. I don't want to disconnect it all, but there's a fair bit of give in the pipe work, so I'll just undo the three nuts, and I'll just lift it off these and pull it out of the way a little bit so I can clean up behind there. And And the VIN plate held in with these two plastic clips, trim clips. You have to pull the top part of the clip out, and then you can pull the bottom part out. They're not very good. Once you've got it out, you can just pop the plate off. I filmed this in portrait mode by mistake, and I like to flip it round, but now it's upside down. But anyway, see, these are pressed from the other side, and on the flip side of this, the notorious emissions number, which is 0.51 on this one. So now that's out of the way, we can have a look at this rust along this seam here. It's only a little bit of surface rust. It'll clean up okay. That's all good behind there. A little bit of that bolt wants cleaning up. Again, all the earth points need cleaning up because they're a bit of a sore point on these. I feel I need to prepare you for this next bit because I found some rust when I took the wheel arch liner out. It took me by surprise, and this is the sound of crushed Alfa Romeo dreams. That now seems to be the worst bit on the car that I've found so far. When you look up a bit further, there's a few more scabs there, a bit there. That'll clean up alright. That's nice. Whoa! Well, at least it's solid. Not great. I've seen worse. We can fix this. It's not too bad. It'll all clean up. Bit of scrubbage from the tyre. Again, yeah, that needs cleaning up. Spot welds starting to rust again. Them struts will be coming out. That'll all be getting all cleaned up behind there, all the way around. It's just surface rust. Just starting now. That's the other side of that drain in the scuttle panel. Everything, it's not too bad everywhere else. My old black Lusso was worse than that in the arches, but I can't keep looking at that. Oh my god, could get in there. Terrible. I mean, this is the other side, this passenger side, and that's not so bad at all. I mean, it's a bit scabby, but I don't know what it's like the other side of that. Is it rusting from the other side? That's the question. But all in all, this isn't too bad. Little tiny bits here and there. No idea why I zoomed in on this plastic clip. Thought it was rust. I was getting carried away. Yeah, so basically just the spot welds just starting to go there. Just starting to. I mean, you compare it to my black Lusso, how that looks. That looked like some kind of cave. That's how bad that was. But speaking of the old Lusso, it's a shame about that car. It got written off at work, but that had a fair bit of rust on it, but not there, I don't recall, in that place. So we'll see what that's like. I'm going to have a look at that. But yeah, I'm going to call it a day here with this episode. I'm going to put another episode out in another couple of days because I've still got quite a lot of stuff to cover. So I'll fast track episode 3 in a couple of days time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and comment if you will.